up, everybody?
What's happening, family?
And welcome back to another episode of
Is This Gonna Cause an Argument?
My name is Angel Lakita Moore, also known as Angel Tanksley, also known as That Chick Angel. That Chick Angel. That Chick Angel. And I'm joined by my lovely husband and co-host. Tell him who you are, baby.
I'm the other host of This Is Gonna Cause an Argument, Marcus Tanksley, a.k.a. Tank. Hey, if this is your first time tuning in, we greatly appreciate it. This is a podcast we do every single goddamn week, fam. And we talk about pretty much any and everything. Sometimes we talk about the Tanksley Pride, which is the four boys that's sitting behind the mics today. Mm-hmm. Behind the mics. We behind the mics. They behind the cameras. We talk about current events. We talk about any and everything, y'all. Anything we goddamn feel like it. And if this is your first time tuning in, we greatly appreciate it. And we appreciate our immediate family. That's the wonderful people that talk to us during the episode. That's our Patreon. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/thatchickangel. Sign up for the low of $5 a month, and you can be a part of this immediate family. They talk to us before the episodes. We talk to them after the episodes. We talk to them on the weekends, during the week, all of that jazz. And we also joined by some wonderful sponsors.
Yes, we are. We are joined by two amazing sponsors this podcast episode. Jenny Kane and HelloFresh. We'll tell you more about them later on in the episode. And we want you to give them a try. Excuse me. If you've been thinking about getting some lovely clothes and adding to your wardrobe some amazing luxury staples, or if you are looking for easy ways to come up with dinner, you're going to love these two sponsors. So we'll tell you more about them later on in the podcast. If you're watching, you see a special guest that has decided to add himself to the mix.
Been a minute since y'all seen him.
Here.
On here anyway.
Don't touch that. Here. Say hi to the people in the mic. Say hi. In the microphone, say hi. They can't hear you. Say hi.
Hi.
No, you got to say it louder.
Hi.
What's your name? What's your name?
That's how he would treat you if you was face to face with him.
Hello, excuse me.
You'd be like, "Hey, cutie, what's your name?" He'd turn away from you.
Tell them your name.
You don't even see nobody. Why are you acting shy?
You don't want to tell them your name? No? All right. Well, you all at least got to hide. That's all you're going to get.
That's crazy. The fact that he don't even physically see nobody.
I know.
But he understands the concept of being on a camera.
Yeah, he understands that we talking to somebody, and he don't want to talk to the whoever somebody's we are talking to.
Yeah, whoever it is. No.
I try to tell people on tour because everybody.
We be trying to tell y'all.
And I said, well, he wasn't like y'all. I just want y'all to know. Anywho, anyway, this podcast, we're going to start off with one of our segments that we love to do, and that is In My Feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what's got me in my feelings.
I got something making me feel good. That's a segment that we do where we talk about what's got us feeling great in the week and what's got us feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do anything dealing with the bigger picture of the tour. It's going to be something very specific to this week, though.
Okay.
Dealing with the tour.
Oh, hold on. In My Feelings?
Yeah, In My Feelings. I'm just saying, don't give like a big swooping.
Oh, I can do something completely separate.
Oh, okay. What you going to do?
This goddamn light that's out on my truck. Look, y'all, one of my pet peeves, I see it on other people's vehicle all the time. I don't like when a light is out on anything of mine, like a vehicle or something. Headlights, fog lights, interior lights. I see people's lights out all the time. I can't take it. Back in the day, I had a Silverado, and something was wrong with that thing, the 2011 models, where the cartridge itself would burn the headlight out. And the driver's side, driver or passenger side, I was always having to change out the headlight to finally, I replaced the wire harness and everything to keep that from happening. And eventually, I replaced the headlights altogether, like the unit itself. Anyway, we get back from tour. And this morning, actually, and I ended up running to the mall because I needed to replace something. By the way, I returned them glasses, got a much cheaper pair.
Oh, good.
I had to order them, though, because they Ray-Ban. Anyway, as I'm walking back to my truck, I hit the little automatic start just so the AC and stuff will start running. I see I got a fog light out. Now on my truck, these fog lights ain't a light bulb. It's a LED cartridge. And it's out on the driver's side. And that sent me up the wall. It's like, that's like, I don't know if anybody else got this. You ever see like a crooked, like if we had something here like a painting and it's crooked and it drives you crazy and you got to do something about it? That's me. So while I was waiting on Angel, because I've been ripping and running, while I was waiting on Angel to get here, I was sitting there looking up parts to see how to replace that, to see how much it costs to order, because I ain't gonna take it. If anything, I'll go to the dealership and order the part. I will not take it there for them to repair it, because it'll be too much money than what it needs to cost. But anyway, I found Amara. Don't touch that, babe.
Scoot your chair back some, so that Amara won't hit the camera.
I priced them out. I found a bunch of used ones, but I'd rather just get a new. That's what's got me in my feelings. I'm thinking about it right now. I had to show Angel. I said, "Look at this bull right here."
I was like, I'm interrupting my phone conversation.
Oh man, I can't
Angel,
take it.
look.
Just to know that it's out, so now I got to turn them lights off when I drive.
I'm like, oh no, somebody didn't.
That's as small as that is. That's driving me up the wall right now. I can't take it.
Oh my goodness. So what's got me feeling some type of way? I have a performance in Atlanta in 2 weeks. I'm performing at the Atlanta Pride Festival. If you're in Atlanta, pull up. I'll be performing at Piedmont Park. It is at the huge stage. This is a big deal. The festival has up to like 60,000 people that come to watch. I'll be performing later on in the day, so when there's even more attendees there. And when I tell y'all, I don't know what I'm doing, and that pisses me off to no extent. Like, I am used to making do. I'm used to being creative. I'm used to having to, like, figure things out. But, like, when I tell you the thought, the thought I have when it comes to, like, hold on one second. Okay. The thought that's going through in my head, sorry for all this disjointed. This is what happens when we do things this late at night. Things just go crazy. Like, they're like, oh, you should have dancers. And I was like, oh, okay. So now I'm like trying to get dancers. I don't know what I'm doing. And then the budget that I have been given, and I can also add to the budget with my own money, does not equate to, the dancers that you get from a dance agency, right? No, I need girls that are in college that want to make $250 and know how to twerk real good and can pick up easy choreography that I am going to teach them, not a choreographer. Girls that can fit in clothes that I can get at Wet Seal or Forever 21, okay? That has some sparkle and razzle dazzle to them. Trying to get, and then also trying to figure out what the rapper that Chick Angel looks like when she performs. Because it's not the podcast that Chick Angel, and it's not Angel the actress. So trying to figure all this out and me not knowing it and knowing that I only have 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks to figure it out, pisses me off to no end. I know I'm going to pull it together. I know it's going to be great because I accept nothing less out of myself. But it is it's pissing me off that I don't know what I'm doing. Plus, I have a club performance at
where have you been?
The Bank. It's called The Bank. It's a club in Atlanta. And they are like, we're going to have Angel do her song at 1 a.m. Y'all already hear my voice, and it's only 8:35. That would be 11:35 East Coast time because I am exhausted. It's going, give me a reader.
You better than me.
What?
I'd be like, it'd be 1 p.m.
I listen.
Oh, sorry, I can't make it.
I'm telling you, I understand. This is something that I already expected. This is when we were on tour. That was something that I kept mentioning was the part of being a rapper is I know they all perform late. That is the sweet spot. It is not my sweet spot. 3 p.m. is my sweet spot. So that's what's got me feeling some type of way. What's got you feeling good?
It can't go too far into that.
Yeah, it's got to be some real specific.
What's got me feeling good?
Bless you.
Being around the kids.
Okay, I was about to say that's what I was going to take care of if you did.
Yeah, being back around them, that's got me feeling good. Even though little punk asses ignored me.
I know.
When I got home.
Amar was acting a little strange.
Yeah, you too.
Oh yeah, definitely the big one. That big one.
But yeah, being around them, I'll leave it at that because I'm gonna go in further into detail on that.
What's got me excited is I get to focus on, back to school stuff for the kids. Super excited. The twins are starting their new school. My oldest son is no longer going to be in uniform, so I get to go back to like shopping for him, like fashion.
Hopefully he'll get into his fashion.
I don't think he will for a while, and that's fine. That gives us a little more freedom in like helping to hone it.
Yeah. Thing is, he ain't gonna be around no hood kids. That would get him into fashion.
No, but them hood kids, they be wanting to get shoes that cost too much. Little Marcus is just like, do they fit my feet and do they look all right?
Nah, I never wanted that.
Oh, that's good. That's good. But yeah, I love back to school shopping. It's one of my favorite things to do is to get the boys prepared. I'm gonna see, and I think I'm gonna make some content around it. Now that the twins are gonna be able to be in extracurricular activities.
Yeah, that's exciting in itself.
I'm going to try to see what type of software I want to use to be able to really organize our family calendar because we'll have more moving pieces. Luckily, not going as far, but like
separate directions and everything.
Yeah, but little Marcus, he'll be more than likely in the school play, so that means he'll be getting picked up at one time versus the twins. Who they might want to do soccer or swim lessons at school, so it'll
all be at their goddamn school. So
yeah,
you're like, you know what? Everybody finds something to do that gets out at this time.
Yeah, so just I'm going to start looking at a software where me and Marcus can see clearly what everybody's doing, so me and him can delegate who is dealing with what, and also the same thing with even little Marcus for him to be able to see his schedule clearly. And because I think last year we really allowed him to manage his own academics. High school's going to be a little bit harder. So while for most parents that's when they really back off, I feel like I have to have just a little bit closer of a guidance on it just so he doesn't fall behind on anything because it'll be a lot harder for him to catch up this year. But before we go into what's got you feeling good,
we already talked about it, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, well before we go to our next segment, let's talk about our first sponsor. Today's episode comes with the support from Jenny Kane. Now, this is the perfect time to talk about Jenny Kane because we're still in the summer months. It is still warm out here. The weather's great. I mean, here in California, it is hot as heck. And Jenny Kane is actually a California brand through and through. Their summer staples make getting dressed easier than it's ever been before. Think minimalist and effortless, but totally refined. It truly is a luxury at the purest definition of luxury, at least in my opinion. From flowy dresses and lightweight cotton cardigans to elevated versions of your everyday basics, not to mention the most incredible home essentials too. Jenny Kane is here to help you live your best summer yet. And for a limited time, our listeners get 15% off their first order. Now, before I tell you where you can get that, let me tell you some of the things that are really dope that I think are really dope at Jenny Kane. One, they have some like real it items. They have these sandals. They are they're leather, and they have a knot. It's hard to describe, but there's like a knot at the top of them. They are a leather sandal. They're super comfortable, and when I tell you, they make you look like you put effort. You could have thrown on just like a random like t-shirt dress, but once you put these shoes on with it, you look like, okay, oh, where you going out? On like a little day date or something? They also have these dresses. They have the Cove dress and the road dress for summer occasions, and their new day dress is becoming a quickly everyday item. They're so comfortable. You can wear them all season long. They also have super luxe cashmere sweaters. And Jenny Kane is really good at cotton. Okay. They do it better than anyone. The Chloe cardigan is the new favorite for the beach. So when there's like a little bit of a chill, and the cotton fisherman sweater is their best seller every day. So I just want you all to check it out. Their collection is stunning. Even their home essentials is stunning. I do love their home stuff. We have a blanket that we love. So this is what I want you to do. Find your favorite pieces at jennykane.com. Our listeners get 15% off their first order when you use code ARGUE at the checkout. That's 15% off your first order, JENNIKAYNE.com. Promo code ARGUE. Let getting dressed be one less thing to worry about. All right, next segment. This is not like do I want to call it a TikTok o'clock? I didn't see it on TikTok. But we'll call it a TikTok o'clock.
Angel, girl, what time is it?
TikTok o'clock.
Okay.
But there's no audio to listen to. I'm just going to read this to you. So unless you've been just completely off the map, no social media, and you're not into anything with Black culture, you already know that right now we're in the celebration of 50 years of hip hop.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously they're bringing out people who have been like considered the OGs of hip hop, like all the people you expect. They pulling them out in these celebrations, in these events that they're doing. Well, there was a rapper who felt like he was left out and that he was not mentioned. So, Uncle Luke says, hip-hop fans from Florida, don't be upset they don't recognize your favorite Floridian rappers or artists as a part of hip-hop's 50th year celebrations. This industry has never considered us as hip-hop from the time I started hip-hop in the South. You can only imagine the names they called us. Country booty music trash music, he says again. I could go on and on. The disrespect towards Florida hip-hop. Still to this day, we fight for our respect. You have stood behind us every step of the way. We will continue fighting. There will be a day this year where we'll come together and celebrate Florida hip-hop artists from the top of the state to the bottom. We love you. Thank you for your support. Snoop then responds. He says, I love and respect what you did for me and my hip-hop journey, Uncle Luke, on and off the mic. Let's do a Southwest hip-hop celebration so we can get the flowers to you and the other founders who mean so much to this thing called hip-hop. Love and respect, OG. Can't spell hip-hop without the South or the West. Okay, so what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like Uncle Luke is just in his feelings, or do you feel like, yeah, like I'm going to tell you the two things I've seen. Some people are like, it's about the 50th celebration, the creation of hip hop. So there's going to need to be more focus on New Yorkers because they are the ones who started. It started in the Bronx. And then other people are like, but the South carried hip hop when the
about
East
20
had
years.
nothing to say.
Or West.
And it wouldn't be 50 years if it had not been for.
Yeah.
So anyways, what are your thoughts on it?
I get where he's coming from. I ain't gonna say that Florida rappers don't get their recognition. I don't know what he wasn't included in. I do agree that if it's 50 years of hip hop, it needs to be the entire 50 years. It didn't say the beginning of hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the 50 years of hip hop because everybody's including the East Coast rappers from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And they weren't there at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with him. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what he was left out in. He definitely had his own sound. A lot of rappers from the South do. Look, I'm a big Trick Daddy fan.
That's I was thinking of Trick Daddy.
Every single song that Trick Daddy came out with plays. It's living rent free in my head right now, baby. Cause I'm a thug all day, every look. All of them. Now look, when we was posting up flyers, I had some of them cities I went to. I was trying to think of artists. I'm like, out of some of these states and some of these cities, all the swag, all the flair, all the fashion, all the culture that come out of these. A lot of these ain't got a lot of known artists that come out of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think he definitely Florida rappers, anybody from the South, any region really. There's at one point in time. Every region was carrying hip hop at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, so I mean, I'm glad Snoop responded.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I ain't never been no big Uncle Luke fan, but I know his music. It's undeniable.
Listen, I don't think twerking would be what it is.
I would be the first one. I didn't care nothing about no Uncle Luke, but after I saw what y'all was doing to them goddamn songs, yeah, move, watch out, move, get out the way. Let me get on here, Uncle Luke playing.
Yeah, when I would be practicing at home, trying to figure out how to do freak girl dance moves, it would be Uncle Luke music that I would be playing. And then the ones who really can't rap, well, let me say why I say it like that. But when you listen to the lyrics, you're like, what are you all saying? They from Florida. I think they used to rap with Uncle Luke.
Who? Yin Yang Twin?
No.
Where they from?
No, y'all, who am I talking about? It was one dude who looked big and kind of Asian, like half black, half Asian.
I don't know.
Is he on Tootsie Roll? Oh, come on.
A, B, C, D,
Two Live Crew.
Is that Two Live Crew?
I think it's Two Live Crew. Yep, thank you.
The Two Live Crew?
Two Live Crew. Two Live Crew, yes. All of that stuff was definitely
Sir Mix-a-Lot, definitely hip hop.
I do think there are people who are, hip hop purists.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they think about I think hip hop went from an era of being extremely thought-provoking lyricism that really, I think, truly started. I'll give the East Coast that I feel like was really a part of what they were doing. Not to say they didn't have songs that were just club bangers, but for the most part, a lot of the purists, they're more so about
Yeah, you gotta be saying something deep. Look, I'm a huge Nas fan. I am not riding around listening to Nas.
Yeah.
Because, I got to be in a certain mood to listen to Nas.
Right.
That's what I ain't gonna get on that, but that's why I hate when people compare Biggie and Pac and Jay-Z and it's apples to oranges in their styles.
Right.
But yeah, no, he definitely needs to be recognized. This like I said, every region at one point in time has been big at this point in hip hop.
I literally didn't get into hip hop until the South had something to say. Until the South started really taking over. I remember in high school when Master P and the Hot Boys started coming out, and it took me a little while to be I was like, "What's TRU? What is that?" It took me a little while because they sounded.
What's crazy is they came back out at that time. They was already hot, and then it kind of disappeared.
Oh, when were they hot? When
they got hot.
What year?
It was what was the name of that album? I was in elementary school. This'll be your last dance. All of that. That's when they came. They had a little Kentucky. They had a Midwest run.
I remember
because there were gangs called TRU.
Yes, I remember this.
And then they had a resurgent back when Ice Cream Man and all that came out. But Last Dance and all that came out. I want to say 10 years before. Maybe it wasn't that big of a gap, but it was a good minute. Yeah, No Limit Soldiers, that wasn't even a thing yet.
Yeah, no, but I remember
it was TRU.
TRU,
yeah,
and Hot Boys.
Now that TRU was out way before Hot Boys.
But like there was a point in time where they started. When
No Limit Soldiers and all that came out, Hot Boys, that's when they had started their thing, and that's when they started climbing together, and that whole little beef or whatever it wasn't even the whole crew beef, and it was just 2-3 dudes out of each crew.
But the South, for me, when I think of hip hop in my like love for hip hop, then not that there aren't East Coast rappers that I love, because I loved Rough Riders, and most of them are East Coast rappers.
That's my favorite era is late 90s, early 2000s. In my opinion,
it was a good time in music.
Yeah, in my opinion, that era of hip hop, no other era touches it. I don't care what nobody say, but that's my opinion.
And while I was never into West Coast rap like that, I've gained an appreciation now living out on the West Coast, because so many parties I went to, they gonna play this West Coast rap. They gonna play the E40s. I knew of E40. I knew some of his songs, but out here, if they gonna play E40, they gonna play Too Short. They gonna play.
Yeah.
They gonna play Dre. They gonna play NWA. They gonna play all the old school West Coast rap. So while that wasn't like what I clung to, especially I remember in church. I remember which church it was. I was still in elementary school. I don't know what rapper came out with something, and they had us pretend like we were gonna burn the CDs in the church parking lot. The news came and everything. Everybody went and got their CD back up after the news left.
Here's my case over there.
But
West Coast. There's certain, like in general, I wasn't always a big West Coast fan, but there are definitely certain rappers. Like I always love me some E40. There's definitely a few that I like put at the top, just because their styles stood out. But like the general, even like like Dog Pound and all of that, I was listening to it, but that wasn't my go-to. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So I truly feel like in order to really celebrate the 50 years of hip hop, you got to
include everybody.
Yeah, you really do. Especially, and a lot of people brought it up. Uncle Luke, he's not just important to hip hop because he had us out here twerking. He's the one that who did he take to the Supreme Court? He's the reason why rap can still be as raunchy as it is right now. Because let me see if I can find it here, because somebody definitely mentioned it. And I said, he sure enough did. He fought for freedom of speech because they were trying to censor him, because obviously he was saying some nasty stuff.
Right.
He took on the sheriff, Nick Navarro, the state attorney, Janet Reno, Congress, and the Supreme Court. So it's not just his contribution to music as an artist, like as a performing artist, but like a lot of these rappers wouldn't be able to say half the stuff they say and still make money.
Yeah, because NWA, they was the first ones to get hit with the parental discretion. They had to start censoring, what was out and all of that. But somebody circle back around to my question of what part did he feel left. I don't know the context of what he was talking about. I don't know if there was an event.
Yeah, so
or a
when
list.
we were in New York,
it
was like
the 50 years of hip hop was big out there. We were busy, we was working, so we didn't get to dive into it.
So I think they invited out a lot of artists.
Yeah, because I saw the one of the cars from the one of Nas's videos. They had the Mercedes Benz parked out there. Early 90s Benz. It was white with the navy blue. I was like, I remember that car. I said, I remember that. They had a few cars like it, like iconic cars. I'm not sure what he feel left out, but he definitely don't need the South period don't need to be left out, specifically Florida.
Yeah, Florida has had a part, and they still do. The City Girls, they didn't revive Florida some more. Saucy Santana, hell, he on my song. So Florida has always had once Florida showed up, they've always had a part in hip hop. To his point, I don't think they have been respected.
That's
in hip hop the way they should.
Nah, they like the one that of course comes to mind and stays up at the top is of course Trick Daddy.
And
Trina. Trina killing it. She definitely was out there on that black top paving the way for everybody that's doing their thing right now.
For real.
She carried that torch right after Foxy Brown and Lil' Kim.
So I get it. Well, let's talk about our next sponsor. Y'all know my fave, HelloFresh. You get fresh farm pre-portioned ingredients. Well, I should say farm fresh. And seasoned recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. The key to dinner time success, variety. HelloFresh keeps your taste buds on their toes with 40 chef-crafted recipes to select from each week. From family-friendly to fit and wholesome, you'll find new and exciting recipes to try and love. Also, this fall, you got places to be. I know we will with all these kids, and standing in the checkout line is not one of them. Leave the meal planning and grocery shopping to HelloFresh. With pre-portioned ingredients and easy step-by-step recipes delivered to your door, you'll save so much time and cut out the hassle. This is something else I'm excited about. It should have been on my What's Got Me Feeling Good. Not only am I about to get to do back-to-school shopping, I'm about to get back to being able to cook for my family. We've been gone so much on the road, I haven't been able to cook for them. And they've been eating takeout, and who wants to do that? Our HelloFresh boxes are being delivered again, so I'm so excited to get some good food in these boys so that they can have great dinners that I can be proud of, and we can be saving money. You understand? So go to HelloFresh.com/50argue.
50argue.
Use code 50argue.
50argue.
For 50% off plus free shipping. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/50argue.
50argue.
And use code 50argue.
50argue.
For 50% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on.
shout out to
go ahead.
No, shout out to him.
Uncle Luke,
the whole Florida regime, the South, all of them.
Love it.
Don't nobody need to be left out there. The fact that hip hop is being carried the way it is right now with these foods is out. He definitely needs his flowers than anybody else.
Come on, somebody said there would be no margaritas if it wasn't for Uncle Luke. You right. There wouldn't be a lot of put it in my puss. Okay, so now on to the main topic. We finished the tour.
Yeah.
We successfully produced and completed an 8-city tour.
8-city tour.
We went to Los Angeles. We
Absolutely.
went to Indianapolis.
Bring it on.
We went to Lexington.
Did that.
We went to Philadelphia.
Represent.
We went to Washington, D.C. We went to Chicago.
We did.
New York.
Represented.
And then we ended with Atlanta.
ATL, Hope.
Now, this was a tour that we said we were going to do 4 to 5 cities. And
4 to 5.
And it grew.
The unruly cousin moved it to 8.
There were so many people we got to touch and be in contact with. Amar, if you're going to talk, come talk in the mic. You going to say hello in the mic?
No. That's what he said. No.
Okay, well, if you're not going to talk in the mic, you got to be quiet. And leave Marcus's phone alone. Anyway, so we said we're not touring. Me and Marcus as a unit aren't going to tour again until 2025.
Yeah.
What would you do differently?
We actually that really wasn't on my mind until me and you were talking about it, like what we would do different, and we was waiting on the plane. I agree 100% with you. I would want to do bigger venues. Well, we of course would have wanted more time to advertise. We didn't get that privilege because of the whole thing that happened at the beginning of the planning that was out of our control. But bigger venues, and I think I could still do 8 cities. I don't know if I would do it the way we did those last 3.
So when we say bigger venues,
our tours we were doing between 120 people to usually around 220 to 250.
Yeah, it was like 220.
220, and then the last venue held 313.
313 or 316.
316, and we did our damn thing in that one.
Yeah.
Only one we didn't fully sell out was Indianapolis. That's because the venue was enormous.
The venue was at 400.
Yeah, 400.
But it still looked good. We did really, really good. So
let me finish. So what I want to do is get more time to advertise. Go to our heavily what's it called? The ones where we get
Heavily populated demographic.
Yeah, heavily populated demographic cities, and advertise longer and do a bigger audience.
Yeah, definitely feel as though the way Atlanta showed up, first of all,
man.
Actually, after I answer this question, that's what we're gonna do. I want to give flowers to each city for different reasons.
Yes.
But the way Atlanta showed up in the numbers that they showed up in, that made that city well worth its weight. Because with touring comes expenses. And so while I don't think our goal was ever to be like, are we getting money? Our goal was to meet you all.
Yeah.
Our goal was to bring the tour to you all.
Right.
So we just didn't want to go in the red and go into debt doing the tour.
Our end all goal was to do this for you all and do it for us. It wasn't to walk away with bags. We knew we weren't doing that going into this.
Yeah.
We just didn't want to walk away with pockets pulled out and cotton, coming out. We wanted to,
Period.
if we could break even, bet we did this tour.
So being able to do Atlanta and Atlanta do so well kind of was able to show me like, okay, if we do venues this size and we're able to pack venues this size, it'll make each city like.
Atlanta was the biggest turnout in the least amount of time advertised.
It was 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And y'all showed up. So let's go through the list, and we're going to give flowers. And maybe just a little
No, we're just going to give flowers. We ain't got no critique.
Flowers to each city. So let's start with Los Angeles.
LA showed up. We, just from other people that's done tours for Angel's Knowledge and stand up that she's done and everybody else we know doing that, we knew LA would be a difficult sell. But at the end of the day, with our friends included, friends and family,
oh, absolutely,
LA showed the hell up and showed out.
LA, the flowers they get from me is they were the littest audience of the whole tour.
Yeah.
I know some of y'all might be like, can't believe it.
No, LA
was the littest audience.
That room shook like the building was shaking.
There was a whole party happening before we got on stage.
And the reason being is because, again, there was a lot of people that we knew, and we know some crazy ass people, okay?
Yeah.
There was twerking contest happening before the show started. Like, that's how lit LA was.
It was.
It was a full party in the crowd because I was like, what is going on up there?
It was insane. LA, hands down. That being our first show, if LA wasn't as lit as it was, the other 7 shows would not have happened.
Yeah.
They showed up and they gave us everything we needed.
Yeah.
Did you have any other flowers? Oh, you did give LA flowers, did they? Pull up? Okay.
Yeah, no, LA pulled up. It was we were betting on, again, friends and family to fill that up, but our demographic for LA showed the hell up. We wouldn't have been able to do it without both.
Yeah.
Because again, LA is a hard sell. Mm-hmm. But I was shocked. I think you were shocked too at the turnout and the energy in that room. That energy was insane. It
was electric. Indianapolis, I'll give the flowers first. Indianapolis is not our demographic.
No.
And I was betting on my sorors to show up. My sorors pulled up. Okay, and Marcus didn't realize how much National Convention costs. So to then spend more money and be like, all right, not only that, people who were not my sorors showed up. People literally came to our show that were genuine, like fans of this podcast, fans of Marcus and myself. And to go someplace that is not on our list of places where we should have people at least not in abundance.
Yeah.
Really, that solidified that this tour was going to go well, because I was nervous. That venue was big. I didn't want it to feel like people were in loose draws watching us. And so I would definitely say while they were calmer energy, they were the ones that proved to me we had something good on our hands.
Yeah, for me, it's hard for me to judge Indianapolis. For one, we took the month off.
Yep.
When we came back, that was our first show after that month. With me not feeling well, brain fog, not really, channeling in, and with the low energy, just for me, the cards were stacked against me that show. But no, Angel said, no, you actually did really good. I couldn't tell. I was like, this is going to be hilarious to go back and rewatch if somebody's recording because it sucks right now. This would be a good story. But it's hard for me to judge that just with all that going on. I could hear myself trying to figure out what I needed to say, just of the physical feeling of not feeling well. And when, just coming out on stage and, it feel like 80% of the people were just sitting there with their legs crossed, just watching me.
I feel like Indianapolis turned Marcus into a real performer. Not LA. It's easy to have fun in front of your friends. Your friends are all betting for you, and they're not going to let you fail or fall. Indianapolis people, they spent their money, and they wanted a show. And so Marcus is used to being able to call off work if he's sick, or if he don't feel good and he has to go to work, he can kind of like go into his own little bubble.
Yeah.
As a performer, the show must go on is a real thing.
Yeah.
Where you have to.
Yeah, no, that's what I felt. I was like, that's why I was like, oh well, this is what it's gonna be.
He definitely the switch. He had to learn how to do that switch, and he definitely found the switch.
Yeah, I needed to hear that because it's still cloudy. On stage was cloudy. I feel it was easier once Angel, like the second half of the show, when Angel's out there with me. When I came back out with her, that was easier because I was like, all right, all the weight ain't on me. I could just go off her.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell the difference in your performance, but you performed, and that's what I needed. I was like, I just need him to perform because I'm not about to do this whole 90 minutes by myself. Need him to perform, and he did. So next was Lexington. What flowers you want to give?
Lexington, again, Lexington is a difficult sell that's not on our demographic, but that's where I'm from. That's where we from. So we had to do that show. Lexington had more energy than what I expected. With that one, that was fearful because the whole day before I could not talk. I was hoarse that entire show. But that helped me push through. But Lexington, the flowers I want to give them, one, I just got to perform in front of my mama.
Yeah,
that was big for me.
Yeah,
like for real. Look, I was telling I was actually talking to Brescia, and I said it's weird, like because I lost my dad, and she lost her dad last year. Yeah, last year. And I was telling her, I said, seeing people be able to do stuff with and for their parents sometimes is like you almost build a resentment and don't realize it. Like when I saw her, like when she performed that one woman show, and I was like, how you just get to do that?
Yeah.
But your daddy, I ain't get to do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So not having him married like that, I was able to look past that. And I'm like, I get to do this for mama though. Like she get to see this. But yeah, that crowd definitely, I wasn't expecting the energy that they give. It wasn't the highest, it wasn't the higher energy crowds, but it definitely wasn't where I thought it would be just because, again, Lexington is a hard sell. It's probably more, it's actually more hard than LA for people that come out there. If they ain't into it, they don't know what it is. Don't nobody listen to watch no goddamn podcast. But we did have people driving for hours to see us in Lexington, which blew my mind. A lot of people actually. That was that. I will give them that. Those flowers is the people that.
No, you gave your flowers already. You can't take you doing another flowers, and I wanted to.
Well, go then.
Yes, I would say the flowers that I want to give, actually, is because people travel, and I got to meet there. Some of you all, I see y'all's names all the time in this chat. When I got to meet Lisa, also known as Passionate for God, in this chat, it was amazing. Like, some of y'all are even better out of the chat.
Yeah.
Better in person.
Yeah.
She so far surpasses that she's always, I'm talking about, she always in the chat. She's always encouraging. She going to engage. Let me tell you, I'll take her in person any day of the week. Any and every day of the week. She drove all the way, I think, from New York, which is crazy as hell. But she was the best energy ever.
It's crazy, like you said, meeting these people. And this crazy is I recognize a lot of y'all just from this little bitty 16th of an inch thumbnail. I was like, give me your name. I know your face. Who is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was great. It was great getting to meet her. Oh, yes. So good. I mean, there are a lot of you all. I mean, obviously,
it was a lot of y'all.
But there are some people who comment so much, and I see it's like there's like this conversation that we seem to have.
Yeah, meeting Erica Alexander.
Oh, wait a minute. She
What?
said her name is Keisha. I'm looking at what she calls herself on. It says Lisa G on what you call this thing, Discord. So if it's not that, I'm so sorry. But no, I love you, passionate for God. Come on. All right, next up is Houston.
No, Lexington,
Philly.
Philly was fire.
Go ahead.
Philly was the after Lexington, Philly was the next hype city. Philly was like, yeah, that was the one, like just stepping out on stage and the energy in the room. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like there ain't no caveat. Look, I'm healthy. I feel good. We ain't got no connection outside of demographic. All the other cities, we had some type of connection, whether it was Delta's family in Lexington or friends and stuff out in LA. Philly was the first show who was like, all right, that's where I felt like, all right, now we about to see what this actually is. And Philly was like, sit down, I got this.
Yeah.
Philly was ridiculous with the energy.
Philly was great. Philly was the first time Marcus and I got to do press together on the show. We were invited. That was the first news station to reach out to us.
Yeah.
We did do press in Lexington, but
Angel couldn't be there. Yeah, she had to be on the phone, and I was there in person. When I tell you, everybody is black in that news station.
Everybody from the
the paper's black. Everybody was black.
That venue, that was the first time we had did a city winery.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's so funny. Once I heard of City Winery and I started to look it up, I knew that's where I wanted us to do our tour.
Yeah.
Was the city, like all of them.
Yeah, every city we wanted to do City Winery.
And they proved me right. The staff there was amazing. And yeah, the audience, that was our largest audience that we had ever had. Our audience, they showed up so well that they put us in the bigger room. We got to spend time with one of our moderators who helped us out, Carmen.
Yeah.
So while Philadelphia wasn't home, Philadelphia made us feel like we came home.
Yeah.
Philadelphia was like,
look.
Can you like it?
Hey.
Philadelphia was like, this is the city of brotherly love. So come on, brother and sister, we about to love on y'all.
Yeah. The shade I'm gonna throw was at whack ass Airbnb.
My God. We'll have to tell y'all about that another day. So next is Washington, D.C.
They competing. D.C. and Philly, doing those back to back, like it was like Philly all over again. It seemed like that audience was the energy was crazy.
Yeah.
It was dope. Y'all like Philly, DC back to back. Y'all was like competing like, no, we gonna make them feel more welcome. No, we gonna make them feel more welcome.
Yeah.
That was dope. Both of those was dope.
I got to perform in front of my sister, my brother-in-law, my father. That is not an occurrence that happens often. And it was so sold out that there were like people standing because they couldn't find their seats. It was insane.
Yeah.
We had somebody fly in from Senegal to see us.
Yeah.
Again, more people whose names I recognize and seeing them in the flesh.
Right.
And being like, yeah, I know you. I know your face. I know you. DC had a lot of people rolling up in old merch. I saw Mama Likes purses, head wraps.
Every city outside, every city, people was, I know people got original merch when y'all got that wing shirt with the silver halo on it.
There you go.
That's the throwback, the original.
Yeah.
And when I see that, I'm like, oh, you from back then.
Yeah. So, yes, they said, did you say father? Yeah, I did. So it was great. Absolutely love DC.
Yeah.
It was definitely
DC was a good one.
Okay, now Houston. Let me tell you about Houston.
Go ahead.
I saw that Martin Luther King was resurrected. Yes, he did. Amen. Houston, while that was our smallest venue, and it was the most expensive venue, Lexington close second. What I will say is they were small and mighty.
Yeah.
Mighty. I am so upset that we didn't give Houston or Texas a bigger venue. However, you all made the small venue that we were in grow. Like the energy was so amazing. We met. Go ahead.
We could have doubled that number easily in Houston.
Absolutely.
Easily double that number with a bigger venue.
Yeah. I'm like the meet and greet. That was the best meet and greet. I loved it. We were gifted a photo booth from our good friends Kiera and KP. Happy birthday, Kiera Lachey. Today's her birthday.
Margaritaverse was fire.
Oh yeah, she's so talented. She's crazy. The meet and greet was just so lovely. Like we had a professional photo booth there, so we got to connect with you and not have to worry about, okay, hand off your phone, yada, yada, yada. And so everybody had like really good pictures to be able to use or to have. So that was great. Yeah,
with the amount of people that Houston had in this vacation Bible school size room, that was crazy. It's almost like putting a battery or a motor that's too big for a car in a small car. It like exploded.
Yeah. It
was so good to have that much energy from that small amount of people relatively to the other.
Yeah.
Even the room. Like that was definitely not our favorite venue by far. At all. But the people, Houston, y'all showed up and showed out. That was truly a really, really good energy, really, really good show. Feel good about it.
Yeah.
Every moment of it.
And Houston sold out so quick, I didn't even really get a chance to promote it. So that's the other flowers I want to give y'all. Houston sold out so fast. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like,
I told them there. I said, yeah, we look like bots buying these goddamn.
Yeah, it was so fast.
Yeah.
So thank you to Houston for not, and a lot of people who were there were not from Houston, and I recognize that.
Look, to not be from Houston and drive to Houston, there is 9 hours of Houston you got to get to, get through to get to wherever you going. Texas is so goddamn big. I was like, I had to take a poll. I said, who in here does not live here? Because you need your flowers right now. And there was a lot of people.
Yeah. No, it was great.
No, yeah, that was definitely the people y'all were. Everybody's appreciated, but definitely appreciated out in Houston.
Next up, Chicago.
Chi-town.
The staff in Chicago was amazing. We had this guy, Nana, that was helping Victory in the booth. And then we had this one waitress. Oh, I wish I can remember her name. She looked at us. She said, wait, y'all be online? It's so funny because half the time the venues don't know who the hell we are.
Right.
But the venue was so dope. And not only that, you all, this is what I want to give the audience flowers for. That venue had not told y'all when the meet and greet was.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, yeah, I don't know if we can make it work this last minute. And I said, we need to do the meet and greet beforehand. Please send out an email.
Yeah.
And when I tell you.
It was like y'all was waiting across the street.
Y'all showed up for that meet and greet when that email went out only a couple of hours before the meet and greet. And I said to the man when he was like, I'm not sure if it's going to work. I said, I have a feeling they going to show up.
Yeah.
And that feeling was right because that meet and greet was lit.
It was.
That was another really good meet and greet.
Did we only had like one or two lingering?
Yeah,
like everybody showed up at the same time. Yeah, it's crazy.
Some of y'all, there was these women who showed up 2 hours early to buy tickets.
Yeah.
They were like, where can we get tickets at? I was like, well, hi. I said, I don't know if the box office is open, and I don't know how y'all got in there, but
yeah, no, they was like, we just trying to get some tickets. Nah, Chicago, I mean, what's crazy is I didn't realize this before now. People from Chicago look like they from Chicago. It's like Chicago has a look. Like I got cousins from Chicago, and I'm like, all y'all look like my cousin.
Yeah.
One of the original bartender setting everything up, he looked just like Derrick Rose.
Oh, I remember
the basketball. Remember I showed you the picture? You was like, yep.
Oh, you showed it to Victory. I didn't see it. Yeah, no. So yeah, Chicago. Thank you all for being so responsive and understanding the late communication because y'all were like, we can.
And that was another one. It was like that. Those cities all back to back. The energy is like, how do you gauge?
Oh, I got to see my sister. That was not expected. My sister via my dad. I was like, what? Oh my God! So, just it was a great show.
Yeah, it was good to have that 3-city run in one weekend. It was good that Chicago boosted the energy for the rest of for the next 2.
100%.
Chicago was like, all right, I'm gonna energize you because y'all got some long hours coming up.
Come on. Period.
No, yeah, Chicago was lit.
New York flowers.
New York. Ain't no room in New York.
New York tight.
Small. New York, what's crazy is I didn't know what to expect because it's so small out there.
Yeah.
It's like, so you had so many people from so many, and I was giving New York flowers, but I had to be like, and surrounding areas because people was like, oh, I drove from Jersey. I drove from Baltimore. People were driving from all over, but one was like, I came my way from Buffalo. Girl, you came from right there, but we appreciate you traveling.
Buffalo is a hike. It ain't close.
Yeah, but she said it took an hour.
What?
Maybe she said an hour and a half.
I thought Buffalo was further away. I thought Buffalo was like 6 hours away from the city.
I don't know. I don't go quote me. I could be wrong too. I thought she said an hour and a half because I was like, you're an hour and a half. That's going to the mall. But now New York, that audience from being exhausted, we were tired. Okay, we decided we wanted to go to the Jay-Z Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Hustling and bustling through New York cities and subways and traffic and being hot.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the wrong address, going to the wrong spot. All this is right before the show. Getting to the spot, taking some pictures, and hurry up and getting back across town to get ready for this show. Being tired from that in New York was like, here's some adrenaline.
Oh, yeah. It was all worth it. It was great.
It was, yeah. New York, I mean.
I'm trying to think of what the specific thing. You know what?
Chicago and New York both made me pause on stage. Because it was just like, God dang.
They gave you that energy.
Like it was crazy.
Yeah,
Philly did too. DC, I can't even go ahead.
I appreciate New York because it was Marcus's and Victory's first time in New York. And
it is 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, I was like, no, it is far. It is far. So
more than 6-8 on a train. Okay, that was my bad.
Buffalo is a long ways away. In New York, really, while the city itself is obviously that's a personal feeling of how you like it or not. But to go to New York, it'd be your first time going to New York is for you to perform. And New York has a lot of options when it comes to live performances.
Mm-hmm.
You have stand-up happening at multiple clubs. You got improv. You got singers, you got stadiums, you got live sports, you got Broadway. There are so many ways in which
you got street performers just walking to where you go.
People just performing out on the street or in the subway. And for New York to show up for your experience of New York to end on such a high note is just awesome to me.
Yeah.
I really, 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 both times I've got to perform at Caroline's, which was on Broadway, when I was there with Kevin. And then this time, being there on my own merit with my husband, somebody who used to think she would live in New York, it's still such a blessing that I get to perform in New York.
Yeah, that with my dad spending a lot of his childhood growing up there, and for me to never have been and to be on stage in New York, my first time in New York, and the crowd giving me the love that they did, that was thank you, New York. Mm-hmm. Greatly appreciate that.
I enjoyed that meeting.
And surrounding areas.
That was a 5, that meet and greet was so early, and y'all showed up for that too. I was like, are y'all here for the meet and greet? Somebody said, Angel, we here for the meet and greet. I was like, I did not know. I didn't know. I said, y'all here so early. Come on. And then last, but certainly not least, Atlanta. How would you like to give them flowers?
The prodigal child.
Come on. It came on home.
Look, came on home. Look, Atlanta, as y'all know, was originally canceled. Ended up being our biggest show. Atlanta gave everything I thought it would give.
Yeah.
Like we said it, I said it here weeks ago, and we got to do an Atlanta show, and it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be lit, and it did not disappoint. The South, just being in Atlanta, that show, just by sheer number, it was crazy. Mm-hmm. Like Atlanta was hype.
Yeah. Atlanta.
Like Atlanta was everything I said it was gonna be weeks ago, months, however long ago it was.
In 2 weeks, we sold out a room that sat over 300 people, which that number typically would give me gas. If somebody said, y'all got to sell 300 tickets, I'd be like, I'm going to throw up. No. In 2 weeks, y'all were able to do that. Y'all have no idea what that shows to the venues that we go to.
Yeah.
That the girl who was our concert coordinator, she was even like, yeah, y'all got to come. She was like, cause if y'all come back, we literally only had 13 seats that could have been sold.
But we've had that in a few cities, and I was looking around. I'm like, where they going to be?
Here's the thing. I didn't push Atlanta hard again because I thought we were so far from selling out. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I'll just do a regular. Oh, had I known there was only 13 left, there would have been 13 more people up in there. I would have been like, y'all you get in there. The energy was crazy good. Obviously, you all made it well worth us making it happen. And this is the only city we would have ever did that for last minute. I don't think we would have did that for any other city other than Atlanta. Atlanta never has to worry about whether or not they're a city that will be on my touring list anytime I go on tour.
Right.
It will always be on the list of places that I go. The venue, again, was awesome. The staff was awesome. Mm-hmm. That was the longest meet and greet line we've ever had to do. Not meet and greet. That was the longest after show picture taking we've ever done. And we did in that dark corner.
Corner was pitch black.
And then that was the one that had the most of our friends. We have so many friends in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
Friends that
but
have
you
never
couldn't even
seen
tell
him perform live.
I'm going to say no friend that came to any of the shows ever seen me perform live.
Right. No, I know that. I know that. But it was just an overwhelming, it was a lot of friends in the audience. And it was just so great. Maddie James and her husband, Christopher James, they participated that night. They was just such good sports. And then a shout out to all of our Patreon people that we chose to do Tasting with Tank and Crafts and Cocktails.
Yeah, in every city. Y'all did y'all's thing.
Every city.
There was not a single person where I would have switched out with anybody else.
First of all, thank y'all for everyone who even asked to do it.
Yeah.
That we know y'all be on the other side of. You right, Keon. I surely didn't almost recognize you with your boobies out. in the
Girl,
dark.
you found the rest of that shirt yet?
I love me some Kiana. Y'all know she one of my favorites now. I just love her to pieces. What was I saying? Oh, the people. We are the performers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are the audience. And we basically ask for you all for a couple of minutes to change the role that you typically have and be the performer with us on stage.
Hold on. You threw up before the show?
Who did?
Over nervous. Kalia.
Oh, Kayla.
Kayla. Sorry. I messed it up on stage too, didn't I?
Bless your heart, boo. But y'all did it. And y'all were such good sports. Even with your nerves. Like
Yeah.
we didn't have no duds. Listen.
We didn't have no, and our goal, of course, is to make you comfortable up there, because you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
You didn't know what to expect out of the show, but also just being on stage and people not being like naturally wanting to be in front of that many people. Everybody showed up.
Shantae said that your friends see you on stage modeling at the strip club, though, because that's performing as well.
Yeah, they saw that. I'm glad you wasn't at the show, Shantae. I don't like you.
No, he loves you. I was so sad I didn't get to see my other moderators, but I understand life is expensive. Thank y'all for paying them high-ass ticket prices. Let me tell y'all.
People, listen.
Ooh, I am so sorry. Now, while I love City Winery, they know how to tax y'all on some tickets.
And they was taxing y'all. It wasn't us.
Listen, we said $35 and then $75 for a meet and greet because we give you free merch. They said, $35 for the back of the room.
Yeah.
You want to be close to the stage, you're going to have to drop that $50. And then if you want to meet and greet, you still got to pay the $40 over.
Yeah.
Plus your ticket charge and surcharges.
Look.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. It's truly appreciated. That's one of the reasons, even pushing past, I talked about it on stage before we started this Patreon. We wanted to make sure we were able to deliver. I know people paying money to see me. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure I deliver. Yeah. Like that's a lot of pressure for me. Somebody be like, you gonna give your hard-earned money to pay all this money? And look, it was different in every state. A lot of states, I wasn't 100% sure of the price, but I knew it wasn't cheap. And I said, I'd be damned if somebody walk away thinking, could have did without this.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad that we were able to give y'all a show that y'all enjoyed. So just know we'll be featuring a different crafts and cocktail piece of artwork back here on the set every
I was
week.
gonna just put them all up.
Only reason why I wasn't gonna put them all up is because
you can't see a lot of them either. So it'll be all right.
Excuse me. I gotta take off this eyelash, y'all. I can't.
It can go where we at, so it can go right here somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or we might be able to put up two.
They're so good. I can't wait for y'all to see them. Oh my gosh. Woo! My eyes itching. Anyway, we won't do an audience question today. Oh, did you have something else you wanted to add?
I just lost it.
I'm sorry.
It was about No, it's all good.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna give you your flowers.
Oh, thank you.
Because Angel was assisted by me in engineering this whole thing. A lot of it came from her brain. I was, a lot of just like her jokes. She comes up with the foundation, and I'll help her punch it up. There was not a single venue that knew us, and by the end, every single venue said, "Please come back. Yes. We need y'all back again."
Yeah, that was great.
And that was because of the show.
That's because
that you engineered.
Shit. Y'all, because y'all came. Y'all showed up.
Y'all showed up. Y'all, I'm not selling them coasters. They too expensive.
2 quick shout outs. I want to shout out Aaron, our booker. He's really the reason why we were able to get to these places. We got to meet him in Chicago. He's great to work with, and we will work with him again. Want to give a shout out to our tech supervisor, Victory, Nicole Thomas Brown.
Fumbling through every city. Everything was different. Every city.
So listen, my laptop is just doing things. So you might, we got to see different parts of her laptop every show.
Oh, yeah. It's like, girl, your screensavers are beautiful.
Yeah, there's shows where I'll be like, all right, play the music.
Who was that one city where
play the music.
it kept putting up the technical screen from the audio video? Chicago.
Victory made sure huh? Yeah, that was in Chicago.
The projector was going.
I'm done. Victory made sure you all got y'all's Ubers to the venue and Ubers back home. Because let me tell you, that would not have happened if I had to add that to my list of things to do. I would have picked y'all and y'all would have been waiting at home. The show would have been over. Y'all would have said, hey, sure what you said. And I was like, man, so sorry. And you want to give a huge shout out to my husband. I saw something that he might not have saw at first, but he definitely bought into the vision of doing this podcast live and understood the assignment, understood what he needed to give the people for the people to enjoy it, because Marcus was on stage for a long time by himself. And
unscheduled.
And you all.
That's a talent. That's a talent to do all that and keep track of exactly when. Look, I was messing that all up.
Yeah, it's all right. You get it. It's resisting how good it feels. Yeah. Sometimes it gets the feeling so good that you kind of stay in the moment more. I get it. When it feel good, you just want to be like, well, let's just stay.
And when it wasn't good, I'm like, I need to get this good because Angel gonna come out. So I said, let me lean over here a little longer. All right, they there. Next segment.
But no, you did absolutely did a great job. So yeah, I'm glad that the tour is over. I'm exhausted. I gotta, focus on a little bit of one margarita. Get back to these vlogs. Yeah, get that stuff up.
One thing, because I didn't hit it on in the beginning. I said I'd talk about it at the end after we talk about it. Yes. So starting off this summer, just doing everything. Angel doing traveling, us together doing traveling and everything. I was telling Angel, I was like, I realized by the end of this, I don't like being away from my family this much.
I don't like being away from your babies.
It was a lot of time away from my family, my kids. I don't like that, but I also had to take into consideration from the top of the summer, things that had nothing to do with the tour that took us away from each other, away from the kids. And laying the tour on top of that was a lot. And I was like, that's the feeling that I was getting. I was like, look, no. But then we sat and talked. I was like, oh no, we did a lot of stuff before, in between traveling, coming back, leaving, coming back, dealing with video shoots and everything. So that's what that feeling was. But of course, it'll be hopefully a little more controlled by the time we do this again as a unit.
Oh, Lord only knows. Anyways, guys, it is late. We are tired. I'm so glad we got to do this podcast with y'all. We'll go back to our regularly scheduled topics next week. But per usual, last thing before I forget, we should have made this announcement
at the very beginning.
For those of y'all who were not able to come to the tour or were on tour, came to the tour and we were out of your shirt size, starting tomorrow or maybe late tonight, depending on how I feel, there will be the link that you all will be able to go to. We'll put it, hopefully it'll be in the show notes of this podcast, as well as in the link tree on both of our Instagram and TikTok accounts, to purchase the Is This Gonna Cause an Argument shirts.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
We'll only keep these up for a week. So if you miss it, then I'm so sorry. We are literally these are going to be pre-orders, but like when I say pre-order, I don't mean no 6-week pre-order.
Nah.
It'll probably take a week, maybe a week and a half before you get your shirt. We just want to make sure those people who weren't able to get it can get them a shirt. So you have a week to purchase it. I'm so sorry if you are not getting paid in time to be able to get the shirt.
Yeah. I know people were asking, even DMing me about the flask. I had flask with the Tasting with Tank logo on it. I don't think I will be selling those just by the quantity that I have to order them in.
Yeah, no, those ain't coming back.
Yeah. So if you got one, hold on to it dearly.
The last of the crafts and cocktail shakers will be on sale as well as keychains. We got tons of keychains. All right. So look out for that link.
And if you got man shit orders, I've been answering emails. They coming. I've been gone, y'all, so I ain't been able to get y'all's orders out. I'm on probably tomorrow morning be shipping all those out.
All right, guys. Until next week.
Yeah.
We'll talk to y'all later.
Y'all have a good one, fam.
Oh, Stream One Margarita Ladies Remix. Bye.